future freelancer? What do you think is the number one reason why people don't start freelancing?
I blame Madonna.
It's because they actually don't believe they have anything they could sell.
Now, what are you selling me?
There's no one like you on this planet. I know that sounds cheesy, but stay with me, hear me out. Let's think about it literally, like you have this exact specific knowledge with your specific life experience. How many people can you say are exactly like you in that way? There aren't any.
That you know of.
That knowledge that you have from your life experiences, people will pay you for them. That's really what freelancing is. And you can use this knowledge you have to freelance in basically anything.
Anything?
Anything.
Here are some examples. You have your popular freelance categories like copywriting and ads management. That's what I do. But there are more obscure things you can freelance in. Like you can find someone's family genealogy if you're great at online searching. Really, the options are endless, so don't immediately sell yourself short. You would be surprised at the number of talents you have that people would love to pay you for. Now, in this module, you're gonna learn what those specific talents are, even if you can't think of any. Let's go ahead and open up the course spreadsheet and go to the 1.2 tab. Your first step is going to be all about research. Write down all your past job experiences you enjoyed and hated in the sheet. What are some of the hobbies or things that you like to do? And what are some of your accomplishments?
I've done things.
Sometimes it's hard to recognize our own skills, but it's easier to remember things we have done. Then, I want you to write out any accomplishments you helped other people get. An example might be someone like a football coach or a leadership training expert who may not have actually accomplished it themselves, but they helped other people do it. Decide a level of difficulty, a level of proficiency, and a level of enjoyment for each of these. There are notes on the sheet that go into what each of these mean in more detail. After you've done that, your next step is to search for gigs that are hiring for these things that you just listed. There are a few different sources you can look at. First, we're going to go into Upwork and search for this skill. You can also browse by industry, skills, software, location, and other filters if you want to get more specific. You will look at other gigs and then paste those URLs into this sheet. Pro tip, you can actually use Shift plus Enter to break the line within the same cell if you like to keep things organized like I do. The next tool you could use is a tool called Google Trends. Here you can type in some of your skills with the words jobs or freelance to see if the search volume has been going up for this. For example, you could search graphic designer freelance or health coach jobs. The last place you can research for gigs that are around your skill set is to go to LinkedIn. You can do LinkedIn searches containing the word freelance plus your skill to see if other companies are hiring for this service. Now, let's say that you find that there are no gigs from this research. This is very rare, but it can happen.
There's nothing.
Then you can very easily learn another skill. We actually have this on the next tab over where you can see other skills that are high in demand. On this tab, we listed the top 10 skills in demand right now on Upwork. Most of these can be learned online via YouTube videos just to get a high-level overview of what interests you. And if you like what you see on YouTube, you could take an expert course, kind of like this one, fully learn the topic. You'd be surprised at how fast you can learn most of these skills and how fast people are willing to pay you for them, even if you don't have a lot of experience.
You ever done this before?
Of course he has.
The third step is for you to pick a niche to serve it to. This is optional because you may not know in the beginning which businesses you are interested to work for, so you may want to try out, different slices of pie to see what works for you. I actually strongly recommend you do this. When you niche down, you're telling businesses that this is made for them. It is more of a personalized approach. I'll give you an example. Think about the skincare and hair care brands that you've seen that are customized for your hair type. This sounds a lot better than just your everyday, hair care or skincare that's not made for you. Or if we use a freelancing example, if there was someone who did emails, TikTok, social media, SEO, literally any marketing thing you could think of under the sun, they would probably be half-assed at all of these things because they aren't taking the time to master one. And the thing is, you're not going to make a lot of money freelancing unless you become a master of 2 to 3 things. This is why businesses hire freelancers, because they want someone who is an expert at those 2 to 3 skill sets as opposed to being kind of good at 10 plus things.
I'm more of a general, jack of all trades style doctor.
Here's how me and Jill niched down. Jill started working with one client in the private aviation space. She had those listed on her profile, and then she started kind of becoming known as this girl who just knew how to do private jet industry ads really well. It was super easy for her to then pick up clients in the industry and do great work because she had done it so many times before. And for myself, I actually niched down into tech and software companies as opposed to just running ads for anyone, and that allowed me to stand out. For you, you need to jump back into the sheet, and that's where you're going to decide decide your niche. There are two different ways that you could decide this. First, if you already know who you want to sell to, like maybe you're really into fashion or food, so you want to work with restaurants, you could simply list that here. You could say that you want to do whatever that service is for those types of businesses because that matches your personal interest. And when you do work out of your personal interest, you tend to put out better quality work because you're genuinely interested in what the company's selling.
Like really into it.
But if you were like me and you didn't know who you wanted to sell to coming out, you could research what type of companies are interested in what you're offering. You can use Upwork to look at this. So we'll see what types of companies are posting jobs that fit your skill set. After some research, maybe you find out that just restaurants are looking for your particular skill. Either method works, and you can always change your mind later if you start to work in this niche and realize you don't actually enjoy it as much as you thought you would. From this exercise, you will be able to identify your natural talents and who is willing to pay for them. To summarize this, write out your offer statement at the top of the spreadsheet. It's going to make it very clear not only what you're trying to sell, but also who you're trying to sell it to. And you'll be reminded of this throughout the entire process of this course. There are two very important reminders, though, when it comes to picking out what you're going to offer and who you're offering it to. On the rare occasion, you may find out you don't have any skills that businesses are willing to pay for.
One by wheel.
This is very rare, but it does happen. A good example of this might be like a cheese and wine pairing service. Businesses will pay for that, but you can't do it working from anywhere on your laptop, right? In this case, I'd recommend you pick a skill on the other tab next to this one. You can quickly learn a lot of these skills and businesses will happily pay you for them. And it's a great way to test them out to see if you enjoy them and become a master if you actually like it. But if you don't, you can always change your mind later. And that brings me to the second reminder. Please remember, regardless of what you pick right now, whether that's what niche or what service, you can always change your mind. That is the beauty of freelancing. You can work for whoever you want, however you want, and whenever you want. That's why we did this. That's why you bought this course, because now this is in your control and you can decide what you want to do.
What I want.
Let's recap. Your next step is to fill out this sheet. Do the 3 steps we just discussed. You're first going to list out all your lovely, amazing talents, accomplishments, skills, and everything else. Think about it as you just bragging on yourself.
Oh, yeah, this is gonna be a while. Excuse me.
Second, you need to find other gig workers who are offering that service or similar. This is going to give you an idea of if people are even looking for this thing at all. The third thing is you're going to want to pick a niche to work for. I know that's the hard one, but the sooner you niche down, the easier it is going to be for you to get clients. Once you've done this homework, take a breather. Breathe for this evening or whenever you're watching this. This is probably the hardest part, in my opinion, of becoming a freelancer, is just figuring out what you want to sell. Tomorrow, you'll learn how to set up a profile on a freelance marketplace called Upwork so people can actually start hiring you for this new service that you're deciding to offer. So go ahead, fill out the sheet now.
Let's do this.